So yeah, time for the Richmond weekend review. Let's go ahead and talk about the racing that happened this weekend. So to start off, we'll talk about Xfinity, the first Xfinity race since this was a doubleheader this weekend. A race that had Stat Patty Busch in there because, of course, he needs the leech. What else is new? Thank God it was his fifth and final start. Really, throughout this race, there was really no competition. It was really dominated by Justin Allgaier all race. And Allgaier actually seals the deal and wins. About time Allgaier has a dominant race and then doesn't get fucked over by terrible luck and other forms of bullshit. So Kyle Busch ends up losing his last start. So Kyle Busch ends up going 1 for 5 in Xfinity this year. That is pretty pathetic for somebody of his standards. And that will go down as the only Leech win this year. It's alright, Leeches, but seriously, it's not like I had big expectations for you this year. Oh, wait, that's right. I picked the Leeches to win 12 races this year. Honestly, I think it's a good thing I got it wrong again. Because now in this series, names can truly be made here and not be fucking buried by Kyle Busch all the goddamn time. But holy shit, Kyle Busch is really trash in Xfinity this year. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to Indycar. First Indycar race in Mid-Ohio, part of an Indycar doubleheader too. Yeah, we got quite a couple doubleheaders this weekend. So, first Indycar race at Mid-Ohio. It was really a strategic race, drivers choosing when to pit, when not to pit, how many stops they were going to make. Really interesting pit race. There was even the threat of rain late in the race, but the rain never came. And Will Power finally comes through and gets his first win of the season. Hallelujah, Will Power finally won this year, baby. Thank God. Will finally got it. Yeah, hooray. So yeah, anyway, let's move on to the Cup race at Richmond. A chase race. Race 2 of the chase. So really, this race, nothing happened. Nothing. The only cautions in this race were for the competition caution and the 2 stage breaks. No crashes, no nothing. It was just really a fucking boring race. A boring Richmond race. Brad Keselowski gets the win. He dominates and wins after Denny Hamlin had issues early in the race. Of course, the big story in this race was both Matt DiBenedetto and Ryan Blaney. Both of them had issues early in the race, and they both couldn't recover. Actually, DiBenedetto just really didn't have the speed. And Austin Dillon had another impressive run. Austin Dillon got another top 5. He was even contending for the win for most of this race. Where the fuck has this Austin Dillon been the last 6 years? Holy shit. So Austin Dillon may not be just a silver spoon kid after all. Maybe he does have some talent in there. He's not there just because of who his grandfather is. Can he keep that momentum up? We'll have to see. But yeah, Austin Dillon really has himself in good position heading into the round of 12. So yeah, next week, of course, Bristol will be the elimination race. So yeah, Keselowski and Harvick are the only names that advance on wins. But Denny Hamlin also advances on points since he was 64 points above the cutoff line. So Hamlin is safe on points. So Hamlin moves on points. So that's 3 spots locked into the round of 12, meaning 9 remain. And next week for the Cup Series, 4 drivers will be eliminated at Bristol and will pack their bags and head to Elimination Station. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention the second Xfinity race also happened. It was pretty much the same as the first race. Not a real whole lot happened. Allgaier still dominated and won, but it took him a little bit to get there since Allgaier had to start around midfield because of the inverted rule. But Allgaier comes through, wins again. So Allgaier sweeps the weekend. Damn. About time Allgaier has some good luck come his way. God damn. And Allgaier's really been hot as of late. He's really been getting the wins. Damn. May want to look out for Allgaier. He could be a driver to look out for during the chase. Because really in the Xfinity chase, really we already know that more than likely Cindric and Chase Briscoe are more than likely going to be part of the Final 4. But those last 2 spots really could be anybody. Could Allgaier make himself... Could he make himself a case for the Xfinity Championship? But yeah, also this week, 11 drivers officially also lock up their chase spot in Xfinity. Meaning next week at Bristol, it's between Brandon Brown and Jeremy Clements for that 12th and final spot, unless somebody below both of them wins the race. I highly doubt that. And, and I'll tell you the points right here. Brandon Brown is 49 points above the cutoff line. So for Jeremy Clements, he either needs to win. He's in a must-win scenario. He either needs to win or he needs to have a good enough. He could still make it in on points. But Clements will need to have a good run, get a lot of stage points, and hope something happens to Brandon Brown. Otherwise, it's a win. And honestly, looking at the points, I don't see Brandon Brown falling out. I think Brandon Brown's going to make it in. He's pretty safe on points. I don't see him falling out. So, yeah. For the Xfinity Chase Grid video, I'm going to combine it with the Truck Series Chase Grid video that will come out later this week. Since you pretty much know Xfinity's pretty much chase is already set, because do you think Brandon Brown is blowing a 49-point lead entering Bristol? But then again, you never know. It's 2020. Stranger shit has happened. But anyway, let's move on to the F1 race at Mugello, aka the Tucson Grand Prix. And this race was a complete fucking shit show. Lap 1, we had a crash that took out Max Verstappen, Pierre Gasly, Kimi Räikkönen, and Sebastian Vettel also get front wing damage in the process. The crash mainly happened because Max Verstappen had battery issues on his engine. That slowed him down, and that put him in a bad position. And then on the ensuing restart, Valtteri Bottas waits till the last second to go. Holds everybody up. But what happens behind? Oh my fucking god, it was a complete clusterfuck. Because the back of the field thought they were going, so they went full speed. But they didn't know that Valtteri Bottas did not get going until it was too late. And the end result was a 4-car crash that took out Nick Latifi, Carlos Sainz, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Kevin Magnussen. Because Valtteri Bottas was the control car on the restart. So he decides when to go, and I guess he decided to wait until the flag man waved the green flag. So, yeah. That was interesting there. So, yeah. There was definitely mistakes made at the back. And that wreck caused the red flag, because there was fucking carnage and cars and debris and shit everywhere. And also, let's talk about Pierre Gasly, because that's a tough break for him to be out on lap 1. In 1 week, you go from winning, pulling off a shocking win in Italy, to being out on lap 1. That's pretty heartbreaking. We will get the race restarted shortly. After that, it became the Lewis Hamilton show. And then, late in the race, Lance Stroll would blow a rear tire and end up in the tire barrier. And that would cause another red flag. And that was a bad break for Lance Stroll, because Lance was running 4th, even threatening to battle for a podium on Ricciardo. But yeah, that was a terrible... red flag comes out. And I always see the marshals be absolute dumbasses by trying to haul Lance Stroll's car off while it's on fire. You fucking idiots, what are you doing? What are you doing? No! Put the car down and put out the fire. You're gonna get yourselves badly hurt or killed doing this shit. No! Why would you do that? Who told you that was a good idea? You put the fire out first before you take the car away. What the fuck? So yeah, after that little show there, we then get restarted. And then on the restart, Lewis Hamilton would pull away from Valtteri Bottas. Lewis Hamilton would get the win. His 90th career win is 6th of the season. So that's another track that Lewis Hamilton has now won at. Yippee. But now Lewis Hamilton is 1 win away from tying Michael Schumacher for most career wins in Formula 1 all time. So we're 1 win away from the Boomer's worst nightmare. Oh god, I got my popcorn ready for 2 weeks at Russia. Because Russia's a track that Lewis Hamilton really runs well at. So there's a good chance Lewis ties next week. Ties the record next week, of course. But of course, the big story is Alex Albon. After getting screwed out of 2 podiums by Lewis Hamilton and his aggressive driving, Alex Albon was able to pass Daniel Ricciardo in the closing laps. And Alex Albon finally gets his first career podium with Red Bull. Holy shit. Albon, you finally got a podium. Only took you like, what, 19 races with Red Bull? Too bad Pierre Gasly got a win before you got a podium. But hey, congrats, man. Well-deserved. That was a well-deserved podium. But also, we also find out in F1 free agency that Racing Point is going to be scrapping Sergio Perez. So Perez will be gone at the end of the season. And replacing him will be Sebastian Vettel. So I guess Vettel looked at how good that car has been this year and it's like, you know what? I'm going to go there. And I'm going to go to the Mercedes engines. And oh yeah, that car becomes Aston Martin next year. So yeah, Vettel is going to be staying in Formula 1. And it looks like maybe Perez might be the odd man out. But there have been rumors that Perez might go to Indycar next year. So that's something interesting to keep an eye on. But anyway, let's move on. So, the second IndyCar race in Mid-Ohio. Well, we had a Lab 1 crash, and then after that, it was pretty much the same as the first race. It was a lot of pit strategy, you know, when to pit, when not to pit. You know, everyone going on different strategies to try and outsmart each other. In the end, though, Colton Herta comes through and takes the win. Dominates from pole and wins. Colton Herta does it again. Damn. Colton Herta really making a name for himself in IndyCar. He could be a driver to look out for in the future. Damn, he's got some talent. And of course, the big story was Scott Dixon, who spun out mid-race. Had a lot of issues, so that takes a big chunk out of his championship lead since Joseph Newgarden had a decent run. So really, in the IndyCar Championship, it's really down to 2 drivers with 3 races to go. The next IndyCar race isn't for 3 weeks, and that's the doubleheader at the Indy Roval. Yes, another doubleheader. Holy shit. You know, they could have put in another race or 2 within this 3-week break. Maybe add some more races, make this more interesting. But hey, not to complain. So really, it's looking like the championship's just between Dixon and Newgarden. But, you know, Newgarden's still 72 points back, so for Newgarden, he's going to need a lot of help. He's going to need to have some good runs and hope Dixon has some issues at the Indy Roval. And keep in mind, Dixon did win there earlier this year, so that's going to be a tough task. But can Newgarden get it done? We'll have to see. But yeah, to everyone else this week, thank you for playing. But now, it's time to focus on the big race this week that matters. I know this race happened first this weekend, but since this race has a lot of importance, I saved it for last. It is the truck race at Richmond. The final race before the truck chase. So, of course, let's look at the truck chase picture real quick. It's very simple. Christian Eckes, he's locked in once we take the green flag. But for Tyler Ankrum, he needs to have a solid top 5. He needs to have a solid run, stay out of trouble when he's in. Same deal with Todd Gilliland. He needs to have a solid run or win. Derek Kraus is the only driver that has a chance to make it in on points. He needs to either win or have a solid run and hope either Ankrum or Gilliland has issues. But everyone else on down, they're all in the win or all in the must-win scenario where the only way they're in is a win. So yeah, let's take a look at the truck race. So truck race, it was the better race all weekend. There was some good racing for sure. Race mainly dominated between Brett Moffitt and Matt Crafton. But in the closing laps, Grant Enfinger will make sure nobody below the cutoff line will get the win. As Enfinger passes Crafton in the closing laps. Enfinger gets his third win of the season, sorry. So Enfinger gets another win. Damn, he's having a really good season. So Enfinger gets the win. Now in terms of the chase picture, Ankrum would come home finishing 5th, had a solid run, did what he needed to do. So Ankrum, he is officially locked into the chase. Welcome back to the show, young man. Great to see you make it in 2 years in a row. At least this time you didn't need a fluke win to get in. You actually made it in this time. Maybe you can make some noise this year. We'll have to see. Also, Eckes, congrats on making the chase too. About time this is not a first KBM driver since Christopher Bell made the chase. Thank God. Thank God, because the last couple years we've really been questioning KBM's driver pool. But yeah, welcome to the chase, Eckes. And then that 10th and final spot for the truck chase between Todd Gilliland and Derek Kraus. Gilliland would have an up and down night, but he would come home 17th. Now the question is, Did Derek Kraus have a good run to get in? He didn't. Derek Kraus blows it. He had a struggling night. Kraus would finish 23rd. So this would officially eliminate Derek Kraus from the chase. And Todd Gilliland would get the 10th and final chase spot. Well, Gilliland, that's one way to stick it to Kyle Busch after he fired you last year for missing the chase. Even though you did win a race at Martinsville. But hey, it's great to see you made it in with your dad with Front Row Motorsports, a team also co-owned by your father. So hey, Gilliland, welcome to the chase. And congrats on sticking it to Kyle Busch. Maybe Kyle Busch did make a mistake getting rid of you. But yeah. But for Derek Kraus, he will head to Elimination Station. Really an up and down year. He almost pulled a win off at Darlington, just couldn't catch roads. Maybe Derek Kraus had a pretty okay season. Maybe he could do something next year. Better luck next year, Kraus. But yeah, anyway, the 10 truck driver chase. It will consist of Sheldon Creed, Zane Smith, Austin Hill, Grant Enfinger, Brett Moffitt, Ben Rhodes, Matt Crafton, the reigning champ, Christian Eckes, Todd Gilliland, and Tyler Ankrum. One of those 10 will be your champion this year. And also the big names that also missed the chase are Stuart Friesen and Johnny Sauter. Those are big shocking names. I thought Friesen and Sauter were going to have good seasons, but really they both were absolute dog shit this year. Especially Sauter. Fuck. But anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at the Cup chase heading into next week. So in terms of the Cup chase, here are the points on the board here. So Logano, he's 51 points to the good. I think he's pretty much safe on points. He'll pretty much be locked in with a couple stage points. So I think Logano's pretty safe. I say Martin Truex Jr. is pretty safe on points too, being 38 about the cutoff line. Austin Dillon, the big surprise of the chase. Who would have predicted he'd be 36 points above the cutoff line entering Bristol? God damn. He put himself in a good position. So all Austin Dillon's got to do is just run okay, stay out of trouble, and he moves on too. Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman, solid runs for them, and they're safe too. Kyle Busch, he's 18 points above the cutoff line, still winless this season. But we've always seen before, no lead in the chase is safe. And Kyle Busch, he has had issues at Bristol in the past, so you never know what could happen. So yeah, Kyle Busch, he just needs to stay out of trouble, and he moves on too. Eric Omaro and Kurt Busch, both 7 points above the cutoff line. They both just need to have solid runs, stay out of trouble. They're in too. And Clint Bowyer, he needs to run well and finish ahead of William Byron to make it in. So William Byron, he's 3 points below the cutoff line. Byron needs to have a good run. He mainly just needs to finish ahead of Clint Bowyer. Or Kurt Busch, or Omaro, or hope Omaro or Kurt Busch have issues too. Or somebody like Kyle Busch has issues too. Cole Custer, he's only 8 points below the cutoff line. He's going to need a solid run and hope somebody above the cutoff line has some issues. Matt DiBenedetto, he enters 25 points above the cutoff line. He's pretty, I wouldn't count him out yet. He almost won this race last year. He's in a better car than he was last year. So, the potential for Matt DiBenedetto to win in this round is still there. He always runs well at Bristol. So, yeah, you can't count him out yet. And Ryan Blaney, 27 points below the cutoff line. He's really had issues. He's really shit the bed this round. So, yeah, Blaney, he's pretty much in a must-win scenario. Either that or he needs to have a solid run and hope someone like Kurt Busch or Clint Bowyer or Omaroa all have issues to make it in. But, yeah, that is the chase grid entering Bristol. But as for the Truck Series, for Derek Kraus, Rafael Lizard, Stuart Friesen, Tanner Gray, Johnny Sauter, Ty Majeski, Austin Wayne Self, Tate Fogelman, Spencer Boyd, Jordan Anderson, and Cody Robar. You have all arrived at Elimination Station. And for that, you go somewhere different. 'Cause you see, for you 11 souls, for your failures of having a good season, your failures of winning a race this year, your failures of being consistent enough to make it into the top 10 in points, your failures of competing for a championship this year, consider your names written down in the death note, as your seasons have been absolutely deleted.
There's only one thing left to do. Gotta write their names in the death note. Delete!
Delete. 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 Deletion.
You will rest in peace.